What's up guys, today we're reviewing the MCHOSE K7 Ultra V2. I've been using this mouse as my main mouse for a week now and I have some thoughts. What is this mouse? If you look at this, it will look very familiar. It looks like the Viper V3 and V4 Pro. I say it's much closer to the V3 Pro, and that's actually a good thing. So let's talk about what comes inside the box. We obviously got the mouse, and it comes with this really cool charging dock, which comes in clutch. I wish more companies would actually do this because it's really cool to be able to charge when not in use. And it has its own cords, manuals, and some additional grip tapes. I got this mouse in the blue color since this is their hero color for the year, and it actually feels really good in the hand, even in very long gaming sessions. So let's talk about some nerdy specs. So this mouse has a Nordic 54L chip, which features Bluetooth. And this is a lower power chip, which means it has very good battery life. This mouse should last between 100 to 120 hours on low polling rates, like 1K, 2K. And if you are using the higher polling rates like 8K, then it should last up to 8 hours. But as I mentioned previously with all of my mouse videos, 8K polling is an overkill, and even on very fast PCs, it's hard to tell the difference with 4K and even 8K. I suggest using 4K and 2K. Anything over 1K polling is very good for a mouse. This mouse can go as high up as 50,000 DPI, which no one will ever use, but what it means is that the sensor is very accurate, and that would mean you would get very good tracking. This mouse also has onboard memory, so you can change your settings via the web app, or you can also download the MCHOSE app if you prefer to install apps on your PC. The MCHOSE app, which I'm currently using, is actually very good. It's easy to use, and it has a bunch of different features like the high-end companies like Razer or Logitech would have. This mouse has angle snapping, it has mouse rotation, and it also has an option to click if you're using a glass pad surface, in which you guys know I've been using a glass surface for a while. It also has the lift off distance. I use the 1.7 mm. It also has the button depress. This is honestly very impressive. I use a 4K 32-inch monitor, so I use 1600 DPI. And like I said in the beginning, I use a glass pad and I use also a cloth pad. So depending on the game I play, you'll either find me using both the glass or the cloth. Now let's talk about the most important thing, which is gaming. Looking at this mouse, this looks exactly like the Razer Viper. And if you've seen all of my videos, I always say the Razer Viper has the best shape. And because of that, this mouse automatically becomes A tier for me. My main mouse currently before this is the Logitech Super Strike. I love the haptic feedback. And when trying to transition back to the Viper V4 Pro, it's been super tough because of the clicks. The Viper V4 has some weird sounding clicks and it's pretty shallow, so you'll need to use it for a while to get used to it. The clicks of this mouse is pretty similar to the V3, which I love, and here is the sound test. I've been using this mouse as my main mouse for a week now, and my performance for first-person shooters have been fantastic. I've been dropping some pretty crazy stats in Valo while using this mouse, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorites. The way this glides on both the glass pad and Artisan FX0 is better for me, The Viper V4 will glide more because it has more skates, but it glides too much when using a glass pad. This mouse with its skates gives me the perfect balance, so depending on your game, this could either be good or bad. I mainly play tactical shooters, so this is perfect for me. The only advantage the Viper V4 has over is the weight. This comes in at 59 grams, which is pretty similar to the Super Strike, so I'm really used to this weight. And the Viper V4 is 54 grams. The Viper V4 is easier to do flick shots with because it's obviously lighter, but since it's so light and it glides more, I usually try to compensate when using the V4. I use a slower pad like the Type 99. If you pair this mouse with a faster pad like the FX0, you'll have the best results when pairing these together. So let's wrap this up. For $89, this mouse is honestly a steal. It's essentially half the price of the Razer, and it honestly feels just like it. There are some other benefits like having Bluetooth, so I could just easily swap over to my laptop for editing without having to use a KVM switch, which is honestly a nice thing. One thing to note, at time of filming, I couldn't get the web app to work, so I downloaded the MCHOSE hub, but other than that, I would 100% recommend this mouse. If you already have a Super Strike and you just really want to try out the Razer Viper, this would be a really good alternative, especially for the price point, could be half the price. This won't disappoint, and the colors look really good. So that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will link this item down in my description. And what do you guys think? Will you guys be purchasing this mouse? Is there any other mouse that you want me to try? And again, thank you to MCHOSE for sending me this mouse to try. I really enjoyed it, and this will actually be my main mouse until I probably get the Super Strike X2 in the smaller version. But as of now, this will be my main because I'm performing so well and I just love climbing in Valorant. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.